All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Well, as you can see, I'm doing fantastic. Just relaxing, sitting back here, nice and comfy, in my new love sack chair. It's just having lots of fun.
I love it, man. Love it. That does look comfortable, man.
So comfortable, yeah. Not sure it matches with my decor in the house, but I had to buy something last minute. So
I know how tall you are, so that has to be like an extra large beanbag that it kind of cutters you like that.
Right? It's the family size. It's the only way I fit in it there. But yeah, it's
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Let me
Amazing,
just
love it.
Yeah, it's great. Maybe I should head back over to the office here. I'm not sure, but.
Sounds good. Oh, Fred's over on YouTube.
Oh, here I am. Okay, I just
there you
over
are. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
You ran over and changed your shirt. Okay, that was fast, man. We call you Flash. All right, Fred. Let's get to it. Gappers list this morning. Not a lot going on here. We do have Adobe, which we'll talk about as far as earnings. Just crushing it today with some AI talk. So we'll see what's happening there, and then some other ones gapping down that we'll get to as well. So, Peter, I know we have some economic data come out this morning. Also, not anything that's going to really affect the market too much, but there is some stuff that came out this morning. Let's go through what's happening on the U.S. economic calendar.
Yeah, so hopefully it's updated because I was just updating it. We did have some numbers come out. The import price index, which came out at 8:30. Interesting, fair amount of contraction in that index. Not one of the indices that has a major impact on the market overall, but it was expected to be completely flat, 0%. And it came in at negative 0.6 for the month of May for the exports, and negative 0.4 for the import. So that's a weakened number, which usually the markets like. But as I said, I guess maybe because it's a Friday and the market generally, it's not as important as, like the interest rate that we had earlier this week. Maybe the market's just tired and it says, oh, we don't care. We're not doing anything, because there was virtually no reaction here as I'm just checking my charts as we're calling things up, and virtually no reaction from the market this morning on that number when it came out at 8:30. So, okay, I guess maybe that's setting a tone for the day, right? That we are going to be pretty quiet today without a lot of big impact. So later this morning, we do have the consumer sentiment. Again, not a major market impact one at 10 a.m. So be aware of that if you're trading the open. And then we have a couple of Fed speakers. I didn't have time to put that in properly, but they're not the major speakers. We got Loretta Mester, who's speaking, who's on TV at 1:15, and then at 2 we got Austin Goolsbee from Chicago, who's giving a speech. So neither one, unless they do something crazy, which we don't expect, right? There was no change in the Fed rate. There's no reason for them to go off the rails here. It should be a fairly quiet Friday, at least from a news perspective. It's been a fairly quiet week. Like, we've had some periods of interest. If you remember, we started the week all excited about NVIDIA and GME, and that's sort of fallen away. And then Apple went to some all-time highs and gave us, we thought, a little bit of fun. But overall, stock movement's been slow. And I got to tell you, I've been in the room, obviously, in the afternoons, and the afternoons all week have been quiet. Like, a lot of sideways price action, not a lot of movement. So, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, but I don't expect much different for today. I'm hoping, but I don't expect it. So
yeah, I agree. It's getting into that kind of slower period, summer type trading. Not completely, right? It's not that bad. It's better than we have seen in the past, of course. But yeah, you're right. We're starting to see some of that slowness happen as earnings taper off already. And we just, we got the big news this week. So I have to wait for another big event to kind of get the SPY moving and things, kind of in action. Unless you're tech. If you're a tech company, obviously, Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple. I mean, these guys are still getting tons of volume, still moving, but the majority
They
of stuff
are.
is dead.
Even their
You know?
moves, I find, are not as wild as they could be or have been. So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's good. Next week might be interesting. It might be really slow, or it might be like super crazy. I really have no idea what to expect. I'm really thrown, I have to admit, by this holiday midweek. So just as a reminder, everybody, next week,
Yeah.
Juneteenth happening on Wednesday. So the markets are closed Wednesday. So we've got no scheduled activities here at Bearable Traders. We will not be live with you. Obviously, the markets will be closed, so everything is off for the Juneteenth holiday. But it's unusual that you have something like right in the middle of the week. So so we'll see what that does. But that's a
Yeah, we'll
problem for
take it.
future
We'll
us.
take it. That's right. We'll take it. My kids are out of school right today. It's the last day, so any time
Mm.
off is well appreciated, man. Absolutely, guys. For those that are fathers, happy Father's Day coming up this weekend. So we'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day. Enjoy yourself. I got an air show plan. That's going to be amazing. So hopefully, you guys are doing something and enjoying your Father's Day weekend. Let's get to our gappers list, guys. ABDE. So ADBE, excuse me, is Adobe, the only one on the gap up list with major earnings
Yeah.
today. AI play here, which is going to be awesome for them. So Peter, obviously crushing the numbers here, 15%, 359,000 shares traded. Yeah, this is definitely in play today if you're asking me on YouTube chat. Peter,
Yep.
anything on this today?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, earnings after the close yesterday. It was one of the ones we were watching. They popped up and then held it. So no pullback after that pop yesterday at the close. So I think 405 is when they reported. Good numbers on the quarter. They beat top and bottom line. Obviously had a big conversation about AI. And in fact, they were pretty bullish on their guidance because of the expectation of AI revenues. So we'll see if that plays out. At this point, it doesn't really matter whether it happens or not. What matters is that they've put that in the heads of the analysts in the market, that AI is going to be a big boon for Adobe. I don't know exactly how they're taking advantage of that. And frankly, I've given up looking. It doesn't really matter anymore. So it's, anyways, it's moving higher. It is a higher price stock. It's, sitting at around $500, 530, I think, this morning. So keep that in mind if you're looking to trade it. But generally, it's not a great trader, I'll be honest, but I'm hoping that today it'll be in play and there's some opportunity. But the news was all positive yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to have it on my list, guys. One of the things they were mentioning is that, there's not a lot of AI software companies making money. We got tech, NVIDIA, we got, we got AMD, all these tech companies are a physical product, that are going to be hosting these servers, but there's not a lot of
Well,
really software companies making money, right? So
and that's a
this
good
is one of the
point.
big ones.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good point, Carlos, because, well, we did see Oracle, which would be a sort of a software and services
Oracle's
company.
another one. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting how this is different than a lot of other of these sort of hot trends. This is pushing through the pipeline, right? So at the front end of the pipeline, you get those that build the equipment. Obviously, NVIDIA's at the forefront of that with their chip technology. But then chips go into boards and into devices, which then, obviously, so then you get those that are the equipment manufacturers at the next tier. Then they sell them to the service providers, and then the service providers have to sell them to both the software companies and then the presumably the end clients. And it feels to me like we've got to a point where the market is starting to say the end clients are like, how exactly do I use AI? Like, they're not really ready to embrace it. Like, we're not seeing the AI have a big impact on McDonald's or Walmart or Costco,
Right.
or like they're starting to talk about it, but how are they really employing it? Supply chain is usually the first place in which they try and apply these types of things because it's easier to manage and automate that than it is consumer end services. But who knows? I mean, there are applications, don't get me wrong, but are they buying them in bulk, such that they're providing big benefit down that chain and then yielding results into their profitability? That we haven't yet seen. So we'll see what happens. I mean, AI is going to continue to be hot because whether you understand it, misunderstand it, or have no idea, everybody understands it's the hot thing to talk about. And and then there's those of us that are just afraid of the rise of the robots. So be careful. Don't you can't trust your toaster anymore.
Let's look at NVAX here, guys, on the gap down list. That's the only thing on the gap up. Gapping down this morning, we have NVAX, and they have 809,000 shares traded, down 4.3. And I don't see any spikes over the overnight here. So it looks like this morning just continued to drop from yesterday and the last couple of days, as you're seeing here. It's just kind of giving some gains back. Peter, anything happening here? Maybe not today. Maybe it might be something over the last couple of days that's just kind of has them heading downwards.
I mean, I think Novavax really this feels like it's just sort of continuing to sell off after the initial excitement. Remember, they had that deal with, was it Sanofi? I think Sanofi, whatever it was. Anyways, they had this big deal for COVID and flu vaccines, and you can see a big spike up. But when it hit the peak there on that day, that's a big red candle right at the top. So that's a warning, and it's come right back down to the level that it had consolidated. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I feel like it's just going to hold here, and it's not doing anything interesting. If it drops further, that could be interesting. But there's really nothing new. Like, there's no new news, and maybe that's why the market's upset with them, just because they're expecting big, continuous announcements about all the beautiful stuff that they're going to do, but that hasn't come forward yet.
Yeah. NVAX. I mean, I don't know what to think about this one. Maybe in a secondary, it's not a whole lot that we're going to be having on deck today. I'm going to be bringing back a lot of our usual suspects that we've been watching, sitting more on the tech side with all this AI stuff. But I'll put it on a secondary for now. Might not stay there. Let's look at the next one. BCS. This is Barclays, and usually a horrible trading, intraday trading ticker. I usually keep it off my list. They got a big drop today, which is putting them on our scanners, down 3.9, 205,000 shares traded. But for the most part, it doesn't trade very well. Look at it yesterday. Very, very flat, very, very choppy. I don't think today's going to be heavily in play, Peter. What's the news on this? And it doesn't move a lot either.
This is a Barclays Bank out of the UK. They had a couple of they've been asked by a watchdog to review their exposure on private equity. So there's really no, there's no actual news. It was really just the fact that the probe is asking for them to give more information is indicative that there may be a problem, but there's actually not been a problem that I'm aware of that's been identified at this point. So, but again, we know the market moves on speculation, not on facts, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. We're moving off here based on the rumor of problems. So, like you said, though, Carlos, dual traded, which means it's going to be primarily moved by the London exchange, and I don't think it's going to be tradable for us.
Yeah. All right, we're leaving that one alone. I'll have it there on the bench. Well, not on the bench. I'm not going to add it at all. Just keep it off the list. And it disappeared from our gappers list anyway now. STLA, we've seen this plenty of times. Foreign ticker, foreign stock. Again, doesn't trade very well today. They got some action. They're down 3.6, 381,000 shares traded. It's just not a ticker that I like. I don't like the way it trades. I don't like the volume it gets. I'm not going to spend any time on it, Peter, unless you have something to share on this. It just does not trade very well.
No, good old Stellantis. You're right. We see this occasionally. It never trades well. I actually don't even know if this is dual traded. It would make sense. I mean, they're out of the Netherlands. One of the big car manufacturers, if you recall, that we never hear of because they own like a billion different brands on the back end. I don't know what I don't really see much news, so I'm not sure what's happening other than the CEO did give a speech, I think it was yesterday, talking about how they've got a sharp focus on costs and cutting costs, and they're really worried about international tariffs starting to creep higher on them. But other than that, nothing tradable, I don't think.
Yeah. Let's head down. Just two more on this gap up list. SMCI, which again,
we were talking about this yesterday. SMCI had a move yesterday. If you look at yesterday's chart, it was probably the best moving semiconductor. At least it had a strong move up. I don't know why. I mean, it was just decided yesterday was its day.
Nice.
And this is probably just a second day play, right? A little bit of a sell off after that strong move up yesterday.
Yeah. I typically don't like the way this one trades. I mean, but it did had a great move yesterday. If you like it, you can put it on your list. I'm going to be watching the other ones, that I prefer to trade. How about MU? I know we're talking about MU. Had a couple of moves. Did it move well yesterday? No, very, very choppy for the most part. Last but not least on our list is going to be LI. So this is, I think it just decides to make our list, but it's not really in play, not really doing anything. Only 147,000 shares traded. That shouldn't be on here if that's the case. I'm curious because we do block this at 200,000.
Let's see here.
Interesting.
What I show, I only show 147 as well. So
yeah, well, trading terminal has 372 for whatever reason. So very interesting. Down about 2.5%. Not really in play. I'm gonna skip on this. This should not be here. I don't know why it's showing there.
There is news on it. There is a class action lawsuit being led by Levi and Sorkinski. Korsinski. I can't even say it. Anyways, a law firm that is leading a class action lawsuit for all the shareholders of LI, feeling that they were misled and there were securities fraud violations between February 26th and May 20th of this year. So if you've owned the shares of this, you could join this class action lawsuit and maybe get some money out of it. I'm not exactly sure what the securities fraud violations were, but I guess people are grumpy, right? Because the price has been down over that period.
They lost money, right? If this thing would have been up at $50, even if they were misled, but it made money, it's no problem. But the fact that they didn't make money, of course.
It's always the way, isn't it? So look where February 26 sits on the daily chart. Happens to be right at the peak, February 26. Yeah, pretty much right at the top there, right? So basically, it's February? This entire downturn that they're saying. Like you said, if they were the 26th.
Oh, yeah.
So, and which is the way these things always work, right? When a stock goes from a high to a low like that, suddenly everybody's claiming securities fraud, and I've been misled. And you know what? Stocks go down, and it's a Chinese stock. And what do you want? I mean, this is what you should know better, anyways, in my opinion. But here it is. If you want to join the class action lawsuit, see if you can get your pound of flesh. You'll get your 2.5 cents per share held, or whatever the settlement will end up being, something like that, and go for it.
Yeah, good luck to those people. All right, Peter, let's go to you before we go to the chat room. What do you like this morning?
Well, I think we need to mention Tesla. You did mention them earlier. So it was confirmed overnight that Elon did get his pay packet approved, $56 billion, or that's an estimated value, of course, because it is tied to the value of the options and the stock. So the stock has been moving the last few days in anticipation of this. But is it going to be in play today? I don't really know, but largely, I think we expected this, right? I mean, whether it feels very sort of ransomish, doesn't it? Like of Elon, the way this has played out. Some of this, frankly, wasn't his fault. He was minding his own business, making his billions of dollars, when somebody decided to go to court, and the Delaware judge decided to step in and try and manage the company, which I find very interesting. I don't know the legalities of this, but interesting. They struck down his pay package, saying it wasn't in the best interest, and then the shareholders come back and voted and said, "Yeah, we're approving this thing." So, anyways, whatever the gyrations are, it's happened, and Tesla's stock, I think, is going to shrug it off for the most part. If it makes it tradable, though, I'm all for it. So let's get some tradable volume. So I think Tesla's worth watching. We need to talk about Apple. Apple is still sitting at this area of all-time highs. 220, 213, I guess, this morning is where it's sitting at. 220 is where it spiked 2 days ago, and we could see it just hang on to this level. We could see it drop. There's certainly range for it to drop. 200 is, a big, heavy number there. We'll see what it does going into the weekend, but I think it's worth keeping an eye on. And the other one that's had, I think, at least for me, some surprise moves over the last week, both up and down, is Amazon. Not one of my biggest players there, but Amazon had if you look at sort of the last 4 days, a big up day on Monday, sort of Tuesday was uncertain, some down days over the last couple of days, but it's been providing trading opportunities. So I think it might be worth keeping an eye on Amazon. Last but not least, I mean, I can't sort of not mention, I guess, Nvidia, which is blows my mind. Sitting at 130 today. I have read pretty much everywhere. Nvidia is like one of the very few green stocks I see this morning, sitting just over $130, and it's it's only up like 0.3%, but it's up when everything else is down. So credit to it, man. It's done well, and it's holding out there, and it's been given some tradable moves, I think, because it's been ranging for, $3-4 every day, even when it's not been moving. Like that little tiny candle you see yesterday still was about a $4 move. So I think I'll be keeping an eye on Nvidia. That's pretty much all I got. Let me just do one last sweep of my earnings here. Make sure there were no earnings. There's actually no earnings reported this morning. Really nothing on the slate whatsoever. So I didn't miss anything. So that's what I got.
All right, excellent. Over on YouTube, I just checked tradingterminal.com and it's working perfectly fine. So give it a try. I'm on it right now, and it's working. I see all my scanners there. I see my gap up, my gap down. So no issues there, my friend. All right, let's take a look here. So Nvidia definitely on the list this morning. Let's see what you guys like. We'll start over in our YouTube chat. Actually, start in our members chat first. Let's do that.
I think you might have got in at the right time, Carlos. I'm seeing issues with the scanners coming up. So just for some of our people that are seeing it, if you click on the scanner button now, it just sits there redirecting. It's thinking. So we'll let the team know.
It is doing that. Okay, we'll figure out what's going on there. All right, friends, let's take a look at what you guys like. Let's start in our chat, and then we'll head over to our YouTube chat as well, guys. So type in those tickers of what you want us to look at. Also, make sure to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate your support over on YouTube. Help us get to 300 likes. Really appreciate that this morning. All right, let's start here. Jonathan, BABA this morning. So BABA. Speaking of likes and subscribers and all this good stuff, did you guys see the update from Andrew on what he's been doing on this mountain? You got to follow him on Instagram if you don't. So it is, I don't want to mess it up, but it's insane what he's doing. So he has decided, his team left the mountain. He joined another team. Then that team couldn't make it. They left the mountain. He joined another team. So he's been on the mountain forever, and he's still deciding to stay and continue to try to make this this summit. So on Instagram, he posted something last night. I'm like, man, he is a wild man, this guy. But he's not giving up easily. So positive vibes his way, and hopefully he's able to summit and get back down safely.
Yeah, within some of the commentary, however, right? Somebody's picked up on the commentary or a bot. They are talking about some sort of Bitcoin is a scam. Right? There's a Bitcoin deal where he's giving away 3 Bitcoin and you can get it in pieces. All you have to do is sign up with X and then you get allocated some. It's all a scam. Don't do it. We are not sponsoring that. They're using Andrew's name. It is, if you check, there's fine details in the difference of the name. It's not real. All right. So we're never giving you Bitcoin online. We're never trading your account for you. We just don't do that. So I just don't want anybody caught with it. If you see that. So he's given some interesting updates coming off the mountain, but unfortunately there's always somebody trying to look to take advantage of that and do something illegal. So don't get caught, please.
Yeah, be careful out there, and be careful with your loved ones, guys. I'm getting calls, 3, 5, 6, 7 calls a day for this Medicare Health Plus something, right? Trying to find out if I'm over 65. I have Medicare Part A, Part B. I don't even know what that means. So with your loved ones, especially the older ones, make sure they're aware not to answer any of these calls, man. It's so important. But they're ruthless. These guys are ruthless. I pick up the phone. I keep them on the phone. Yeah, I'm 65. Yeah, I live in Illinois. Yeah, this and that. And I waste their time. Hopefully I save another person from being called. I just stay on the phone if I'm not busy with them and give them all kinds of great information. And then they cursed me out at the end because I wasted, a couple of their minutes. But yeah, be careful with your loved ones, the older ones. Let them know, hey, these guys are aggressive. It's every day, guys, every single day. So let your loved ones know, especially the older people, about that. Shame that people take advantage of the elderly like that. It just pisses me off. All right, let's get back on track here. Let's go to Baba, guys. Baba this morning down 1.7, 347,000 shares traded this morning. I like the gap down. The volume could be better, but you know what? It's something different than Nvidia, Tesla, and AMD and Apple. So I am going to add it to my list in hopes that we can get something going here on this gap down. Gap down yesterday didn't run much. Hopefully today we can get something out of Baba this morning. So gonna have this on my list here. So thank you for bringing that one out. Over in the chat, just gonna see what else is on here. So thank you, Jonathan. Heading down, GameStop. Yeah, so GameStop, I think it's fun to watch. I mean, I watched it yesterday. It was great. It looked like it wanted to get going, right? Had a little breakout a couple of times, especially into the close. You see that pop there. Yeah, let's see what it does. I love the fact, man, that Peter, this guy somehow has made to the point that big news stations are referring to Roaring Kitty's position as Roaring Kitty. I mean, who would have thought? I'm sure this guy, in his wildest dream, did not think he was going to be one of the headlines on Bloomberg Radio in the morning for a stock market show. It's amazing.
I know.
Amazing. I'm going to add it here. Secondary list, 4.3 million shares traded up 1.5 this morning. We got some volume on it. Again, this could be fun. It could spike up again. We'll see where it goes. There's not a lot of short on this, so it's hard to get that short squeeze when you only have like 10% short interest, right? It's not a whole lot. All right, over in our YouTube chat, BP. Oh wow, BPTH. This is a stock we used to trade in the past. BPTH. Let's see here. Nah, it's more of a low price penny type stock, so I'm not interested in it. Up 30%, 2.1 million shares traded. So they got the volume. There seem to be in play trying to get going this morning, but this is just not my type of stock. I believe it's a low flow stock as well. So just be very careful if this is what you're looking to have on your list today, right? Just be mindful of that. Over on our YouTube chat, let's take a look here. Let's see. Not a whole lot of tickers, and that's okay. It's going to be a light day. We have NVIDIA on deck already. That's good. NVAX is on my secondary. I think they got some volume, and they can actually get going here as well. AMD. All right, yeah, let's look at AMD. AMD is just pissing everybody off. AMD here down 1%, almost 1%, 329,000 shares traded. I'm going to have it on my secondary list. It is moving lower, as you can see here. So I'll put it on my secondary list here and see if it trades. But this has been really, really bad. It's been so choppy, right, compared to the other one. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that one. And the whole week, all right, there we go. AMD, CLSK. So tough. CLSK's Bitcoin play here, obviously, this morning. They are slightly up with 420,000 shares traded. I'll have to admit, it's at least one of my favorites to trade when it comes to that Bitcoin type play. Is either Mara or Coin for me, but all of them are not looking great right now. But that all could change at the market open if we get going here. So Mara, Coin, even Riot, they're just very quiet right now. Just waiting to see what's next on here.
Exactly. You look at the Bitcoin price; it's hanging out at the low end of this range that it's set on the daily, and yeah, this might be a bad weekend for Bitcoin if it breaks that level, 67,000. Yeah, 66.5 maybe. Anyways, you can see there's sort of a clear level that it's holding right now, and yeah, if it breaks that this weekend, we could come back to a lot of these trending downwards on Monday.
Yeah. We'll see how that looks on Monday. Let's take a look at Lisbeth. You're giving us a Shopify, which is if you swung this, guys, what a great pop here into this gap down that I had a few days ago. So it's been great on my options play here long. I'll probably close it out today. I think it's the expires, but for the most part, as far as day trading though, because I've been watching it, it's not great. It's very, very light volume. So be careful on the day trading side of things. I don't like it to day trade unless it was here when it was gapping down quite a bit and we had tons of movement, tons of volume. Now it's a little bit tougher. I see it's trying to close this gap here. It's doing a good job of recovering. It's just for day trading. I don't think you have that explosiveness to get it going pretty fast. So just be careful on it. But a great swing there for those that took it. PLTR this morning down 1.2, 506,000 shares traded. again, pretty light volume, like 506,000 for PLTR is like, 2,000 for AMD, right? So it's pretty light volume. The stock usually tends to do a lot more than that. It's gapping down slightly. I think we'll have to wait for the market open to see what the stock is going to have for today. But pretty dead for the most part right now. Megan, I think that's what it is on there. So yeah, we'll see it. We'll wait and see. All right, friends, that's all we have. Again, it's going to be a slow day today. We have Adobe, we have Tesla, we have Nvidia, we have Baba. At least a slow day for our watch list, and that's okay. We'll see what else happens. We'll be keeping our eye on our scanners this morning and see what else gets the volume. But that's what I'll have on here. I'll look forward to see what the moderators will be having on their list. But before we do that, guys, let's get to what's happening for you guys next week, starting with our class on Monday.
So like we mentioned earlier, it is a shortened week, so I want you to keep that in mind as we go through this calendar. I'm going to mention right off the top, though, we do have a Father's Day sale going on. You can see it flashing up here. It's a great deal, 50% off our Elite annual membership, just the annual membership, but the code is DAD50. So for you or maybe a dad in your life, you want to get them or let them know that there's a great deal here. Get you half off the regular price of the Elite membership. DAD50 is the code for that. We'll talk about that again in a second. So let's go back to what we have on the calendar. So next week, like we mentioned, Wednesday is a holiday. However, Monday, Tuesday, normal trading days, normal activities. We've got our onboarding class that's going to happen Monday at 8 o'clock. Carlos, I imagine you're back leading that this next week.
Yep. I'm
excellent.
back.
There you go. So Carlos will be doing that on Monday. It's a great opportunity to get oriented with all that we have to offer in the room, or get a refresher. So you don't have to be new to the room. You can go join and have a good conversation. Pino saying, yes, I will promise if you sign up for the Father's Day sale, I will give you all the dad jokes you want. I ran into it's a very long one, but a great pun yesterday. It was hilarious. I should have written it down. But anyways, all right. We can worry about doing that later if we have lots of time. Tuesday, we do our strategy and trade book webinar. So Lenny's going to be leading it next week on the 18th. That's he's going to talk about mastering the opening range breakouts. That will be once again 8 o'clock usual time. Ooh, a little bit of a whistle there. So that'll be this coming Tuesday. The week after, John Hiltz is going to talk about how you can average up, and that's something a lot of people ask about, right? Once you can start making money with a smaller risk, how do I increase my risk but maintain the success that I've had in the early stages? Tougher to do than you think. In theory, if you can do it with one share, you can do it with 1 million shares. In practice, it gets more psychologically difficult to maintain your discipline when you're doing those things. So he'll talk about that in 2 weeks. Wednesday, like we mentioned, so it's a holiday, so we have no scheduled psychology webinar this coming Wednesday. So know that Wednesday is Juneteenth and a day off. Thursday, we will do our regular slate of mentorship activities. So they are happening at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. as listed on the screen there. So you know that those will be a regular Thursday. And will Thursday act like a Monday in the markets? I don't know. I'm sort of hoping, actually. Mondays are usually pretty good trading days, but we'll see what happens. Or we're just going to have a week of Fridays. I really don't know. Anyways, Thursday, we've got our 4 mentorship sessions. Hopefully you will take advantage of those. And then Fridays, as always, we do not have scheduled webinars. So that's what we got coming up. What is available all the time is tradingterminal.com. By the way, I did change browsers and it connected me. There must be an issue with one of the connection points on our, so you can see it's getting that redirecting thing on some of the services on Trading Terminal. So the team's working on that, but I think it's an internet service provider issue because it's actually working. TradingTerminal.com is functioning. You just have to be able to get the right access to it. So anyways, but it gives you tools, information, news, all the stuff you might need to be an active trader, including a simulator and replay mode, which you might want to use this weekend or on Wednesday when the market's closed. If you're eager to simulate some trading, you can go in there and practice at any time of the day, anywhere in the world. It's a great tool. So check it out, tradingterminal.com. And like I was mentioning on our membership options, our Elite Annual is on sale, but we do have other options. The $1 sale still available. So if you sign up, if you're on YouTube and you want to test out the room, bearabletraders.com/YouTube gives you that $1 deal. That's regular $39, but it's for you for just $1, and we only charge $1 again, just to keep the scammers, like we're talking about. As soon as you got a free service like YouTube, the scammers are there and trying to take your money and defraud you. We're trying to avoid that. We don't want them in our room at all. So the $1 is to make sure that they stay away. Or you can sign up with our basic or elite monthly packages, or like we were already talking about, the Elite Annual. There it is. So the Elite Annual regular $23.88. You can get that for 50% off using the code DAD50. So hopefully you'll take advantage of one of those packages. I do want to give a shout out to some of our team. Let me just hold on. Let me just change rooms here 1 second. I want to thank our team for ordering me my love sack, and Lee and Brent specifically, who went and got me this very comfy seat. Since I was talking about it so much yesterday, they decided to indulge me, and this is not graphically generated. I'm sitting in it, of course, like it's real, right? Seems real. It's very comfy.
Yeah, it looks good.
Anyway,
we didn't know you had such nice toes, man. Looks
good.
Look
at me, hey! Look at my little stubby toes there. Yeah. It's anyways. It actually looks like me. That's what I think is awesome. I mean, it's my head, but
it's really good.
Be me.
It's really good.
I love it.
That
anyways,
is,
Megan
nice.
is Megan's needs more therapy now. Sorry, Megan. My apologies, but. Anyways, I do want to thank Brent and Lee for putting this together. It was sort of their idea, and they did a great job on it. So always a lot of fun. Come on. Gotta have some fun. I can't get away with mentioning, I go on any rants and they'll come up with a graphic to support it. So, all right, let me just go back into the other room here quickly. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Oof. It's tough getting out of that thing. All right, Carlos, you can go set some levels, and yeah, we'll see what our moderators are trading, and we'll get ready for this Friday.
Absolutely. Friends over on YouTube, we're sitting at 127 likes. We'd love your support. 300, if we can get there on this beautiful Friday, will definitely help us a ton. And it helps the channel a lot, guys. You'd be surprised how much that does for us. So if you can help us there, that would be amazing. Looks like our team is resetting trading terminal because I can't connect now for some reason. But in case you're getting error, that's what's happening. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for your support. It's been amazing. 478,000 subscribers so far and climbing. So that is pretty good. And thanks to you guys. Okay, guys, let's get to it. Adobe, I have Tesla, I have NVIDIA, I have Baba. Let's get some levels in place here and see how things are looking right now. So if you look at it, Adobe this morning, they got a nice gap up, 15.5%. AI talk over their earnings yesterday. And you can see a nice little move up here. Towards the top, 531.50 is the high of the pre-market. The low sitting at 518 will slam 2 levels there. And if we head to the left, you can see how on the daily that's being supported as well, these 2 levels. You can see the high right here. This is your high. And this is your low, right? The bottom of this gap down that we had back in March. Towards the bottom, one more, 504. We'll slam one there. And then towards the top, we'll do another level here at 560. 560.30 will be a good one. Before we get there, actually, it's another one right around 550.05. Again, that's a stretch. I don't think we'll get there today, but this thing is strong and it can move quite a bit. So on deck this morning. Usually not one that we like the way it trades. It tends to be a little choppier, not get a whole lot of volume. So the price action is not as clean and fluid with the timing stills and all that good stuff that we like to track. But hopefully today can give us some opportunities. One that's getting tons of volume this morning is Tesla. Almost 3 million shares traded this morning. We're sitting here at a gap up of 1.5, 2.8 million shares traded. High of the pre-market is 186.41, and the low we're sitting right around 182.85 on the low. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, so you're covered there. And then towards the top, we do have the highs from yesterday. Right? We hit all the way to 191, And above that, we do have another daily, not 198.50. So we'll set that there. And I think you're pretty good on Tesla. That is the second one on my list as I see moderators throwing their list together. Guys, Thor and Brian trading live next at 9:30. They'll be taking you through the market open, but they'll be joining us in a couple of minutes here to kind of prepare for their market open and what they like, what they're watching, and some of the opportunities they're looking to take care of today. NVIDIA high of the pre-market 131.66 is the high of the pre-market in NVIDIA. So 131.66, and I'm looking to, it's funny, I'm going to the left to find levels towards the top. Well, guess what? There's no levels towards the top because that is your all-time high. So NVIDIA just continues to break new highs and is sitting here in the green still slightly, not by a whole lot, but still in the green at the moment. So that's all you have to do. Mark down the high of the pre-market, which is your all-time highs, and the highs and lows for the last two trading days take care of everything else in the bottom there. You are set as far as that goes. So you know what? You can add the low of the pre-market, 128.68. We were in the red a few minutes ago, and then the green, and now looking to go back towards that previous day close. Let's take a look at BABA. I like BABA today. We're gapping down 1.8, almost 2% here. 409,000 shares traded. This was mentioned by one of the members in the community. It has not hit our scanners yet. It will once it gets under 2%. Low of the pre-market 74.31, so we'll slam one there. And then towards the bottom, guys, got a couple of levels here. We do have 73.16, and we also have 71.74. Towards the top, I'm going to mark down the high of the pre-market at 75.98. And then above that, the highs and lows for the last two trading days. So it's okay. I like BABA when it's gapping down plus minus or plus 2% up or down. We have that already almost here, but we don't have the volume yet. So hopefully that can continue to pick up this morning as we continue to make new lows. Secondary stuff, I have AMD, I have Amazon, and also NVAX as well. NVAX coming back down here, down 5.3. This could be a good one. You know what, guys? Let's move NVAX up today. I like the way this is dropping here. We have not been down here in a couple of weeks after spiking up. So let's put this on here. We do have shares for sure. I think this can be a good one. So I'm going to add it on here. Low of the pre-market, 1384. Towards the top, we're going to mark down 74.73. And then once you do that, towards the top, your cover, highs and lows for the last two trading days, previous day close. I am going to mark down the bottom, 1282, which is going to be our next daily level. We saw a lot of support on there before we took off to the next area on the top side. So there we have that. And I think we're pretty much set, guys. This list is okay for Fridays. You can tell it's not a blockbuster list by any means, but it can hopefully get the job done today. Peter, on your end, before we switch over to Brian and Peter, anything else? Brian and Thor, anything else you like?
No, I think we've talked about the things that I like. I don't know. Do we have a picture of dancing Elon? I think he should be happy today with now that he got his pay packet. Of course, he needs it to. Oh, that's okay. Actually, that is.
Oh,
is
that looks like that is Elon.
Yeah, Saturday
Night Live. Yeah,
that's him. Live. There you go. Okay, all right. Not the dancing one I was expecting. I was expecting the tuxedo dancing, but why not? There you go. So he of course he needs all those billions to support all the children he's got out there. I'm always amazed at how many kids he's got going on out there. So he's got 11 kids. 11 kids.
Yeah. If I had that type of bankroll, I think I'll have more kids for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know. It's
oh yeah.
Anyways, all right.
With the same woman, but yeah, I would definitely have more kids. Absolutely. Let's be clear. I don't know how his 11 is spread around, but
three. Well, 11 kids with 3 women, and actually it was 12. Unfortunately, one died when very young. But yeah, that's an average of four kids per relationship. That's quite something, I think. So, anyways, I don't know. That's too much for you. Know what? I need to go rest. This is all just too much for me. Let me just go grab a seat.
Okay. Grab a seat. Take a break. Yeah. Somebody bring Peter a scotch there so he can relax.
You know what? The only problem is there's nowhere to rest my scotch on this
nowhere to
thing.
set it.
So Yeah, I need some sort of table that overhangs it or something. That,
and,
but
and get a book,
you know,
and then get a book.
Jonathan, yeah, I was going to go for the wombat fur one, but you know, I had to take quick delivery, so it couldn't. You know, just I got what I got. So, anyways, I again, I this amuses me to no end. So, I think it's
Pig
lovely.
Wrestler, you have. Uh, I love the comment on Pig Wrestler. He says 11 is ridiculous. I'm going to stick to 8 like me. He should have stuck to 8 like you have 8. Wow, that is
There you go.
you know, back in the days, people had more kids. While we wait for Brian and Thor to come on, my mother is the last one of 11. You know, my dad has like it's just back in the days, people just had kids. That's what they
Well,
did, right? There was
you
big
needed farm
families.
help. That's
Yeah, that's what it
yeah,
was.
back
You needed help, labor. You know, child labor. Oh
yeah.
man, but yeah, it's
All I
insane.
can say is when I love doing stuff like this in these pictures, I am glad that my kids don't actively trade, because if they understood all these pictures of me out there, they would probably not be happy. In fact, I'm going to send it to them just to make them unhappy because it amuses me.
You should send
You know?
some. That's
They're
a great job.
adults,
Every
so
time I look at it, it actually
they
it
become
actually
immune
looks
to
like
it a
that's
little bit.
great.
But anyways. I
Um,
I always joke. My theory was always to do the Paris Hilton theory of celebrity management, which is that if you just put enough embarrassing pictures of yourself out there, nobody cares anymore. So, you know, rather
yeah,
than avoid the
yeah,
embarrassment, I embrace it and just put so much out there, nobody wants to hear from you anymore. So there
no,
you go.
no,
That's but Cody, you are
absolutely,
correct.
man.
It is a dad's duty to embarrass their kids. That's part of the plan. Anyways, it is entertaining. So
Uh, uh, absolutely. Friends, Gappers list is more. Sorry, a moderators list. Let's see what they're watching today. We're looking at Thor. He's looking at Tesla, Nvidia, AMD futures. Peter, your list: AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple on the secondary, Adobe, and as well as Amazon. Peter's looking at Nvidia and Tesla. Just kind of shows you guys not a whole lot happening. Right, we're looking at all the same thing. The ones that have been moving for the last what 2 years, a year and a, or
yeah.
so, right? Tesla, Nvidia, and AMD. I mean, there's just our usual suspects. There's nothing really else out there that looks great. I do have Baba and NVAX, but again, these are outliers in case we get something going. They're not great right now, but there could be something there depending how the market's going to treat them. A couple I did mention here already: Tesla and Nvidia. Not liking much this morning. Your IPOs for today: TEM, OSTK, OSTX. Is it OSTX or XTK? OSTX. No, OSTK is the other one that's already out. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Phil will be looking at NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, and Apple. And then Brian, who's taking you through the market open today, Tesla, Adobe, and TZA for him, or
Now,
TZA if you're in the US this morning.
I just realized in going over this list, I did forget one that I meant to mention because one of our members asked about it. Dave and Buster's did have earnings after the close yesterday. It doesn't typically get good trading volume,
Yeah.
so I don't think it's a tradable stock, but I promised them that I would mention it. It is down this morning. They missed their numbers, so it wasn't a great quarter for them. I'm not really seeing anything. There's no pre-market activity on it. As you can see, the regular day, activity is pretty low. So it's not a great trading stock for an intraday. It looks as if you wanted to swing this thing. Sure, I guess you could do what you want with it. Looks like you might want to short it, but yeah, it's not looking good for an intraday play.
Okay.
Intraday play.
Um,
Nope, I didn't mean that pun. There you
no,
go.
no, no pun intended. We haven't given out any garbage trucks today. This could be the one I'm going to give the garbage
There
truck
you
to. It
go.
is horrible intraday
Absolutely.
trading stock. So let's play that garbage
Maybe
can
we should
for
give.
play
Do we
there.
have the dancing Elon in the floating garbage can? Maybe we
Yeah,
should give it
yeah. I
that. Just
think
a
I think
special.
Brent's got it all
Little
back there. Yeah,
special
Brent's
one.
got it
There
all.
he is.
There it is.
Oh, he's not dancing.
There it
He's
is.
just looking pensive there. But that's all
Yeah,
right.
it's just kind of
There he is.
posting around there. So there it is. Megan, her list, Adobe and Tesla for her today. So you are all set there as far as the moderators goes. Guys, as we mentioned earlier, have a great Father's Day weekend for those fathers out there. Enjoy yourself. That is Sunday. If you forgot
Yeah.
to buy your father a gift, pick up something quickly, and make sure you celebrate if that's something you do. We also remind you of the Father's Day sale. We have 50% off the Elite Annual Membership. Use that 50. That gets you in. You can't beat that deal. It is amazingly good. And members will tell you the amount of value you get from variable traders with that deal is just insane. You will not be disappointed. So definitely check it out. And yeah, that is what we have here over on YouTube. If you haven't done so, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Remember, we have our road to what did we decide to call it, Peter? Road, drive? What are we calling it? Drive to a million
We
subscribers?
haven't got there yet, but maybe the
We haven't got there yet.
road to a million.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the
I like that. Road to a
drive to a
million.
million. We can't.
I like
We can,
drive to a
other
million.
people are using the
Yeah,
road to a million. Anyways,
yeah. Drive to a
whatever
million
it is.
subscribers, guys. We'll be giving away a Tesla, so that's gonna be exciting. No, whether we drive, roll, whatever we do, the gift is gonna be great. Make sure you stay tuned for that. So that's for sure.
Yeah, should be awesome. Really looking forward to that. So let's get there.
Looks like our good buddy Brian is on. Brian, we'll leave you. Have a great trading morning, guys. Take care over on the YouTube side. We'll be in chat here. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Take care.
I'm going back to rest. There you go. All right. Trade smart, everybody. Have a great day.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I don't know. The pictures kind of creeps me out. I don't know why. But
does it? Why is that? It's my toes, isn't it?
I think
I know. Sorry about that. I couldn't find any socks. I was too comfy. It was.
It's just maybe it's a look on your face. I don't know. It's coming there.
Yeah. All right, well, anyways, I'm going to take a little nap in my love sack. All right, later.
Nothing personal, Peter. You're a great guy. Anyway. All right. Well, like some of our moderators have already been saying, not a lot of things that are too interesting yet. A lot of red on the screen. Elon got his pay package. I guess he got his wish because BlackRock and Vanguard, big holders, flipped their positions. We got a jet flying by, I think, by the sounds of it. Let me get screen up here. Not a lot of orders on Nvidia. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's, I guess, pulling a shove or pulling a push there. The pull, I guess, Elon was really promotional, I guess, in some of his talking yesterday, but he said, don't think of this. He's always said, don't think of this as a car company. It's a robot company. So I guess we're going with robot this morning. The shares that they've issued him is really dilutive. So under normal circumstances, this would be a reason for a stock to sell off, but not in this case. AMD is kind of creeping up here. It's all just price action, pre-market. So not to put too much weight on that. There's only some bids down here on AMD. What else have we got here? Apple dropping a bit right now. Market's pretty flat. I think the challenge is going to be we're, sort of summertime Friday or getting into the summer Friday. So these Fridays can be a little bit dull. we don't have a lot of stuff going on. The only thing, Adobe came out, did what was what's been working for this earnings season. Talk a lot about AI, and I was disappointed, saying last night when Jared and I were watching after the close here, disappointed they didn't mention they were going to split their shares. Yeah, don't put too much into that dump in pre-market. It's pretty easy to move the stock around on 20,000 shares of volume.
Howdy. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on? I'm just trying to figure out what might be an interesting mover today.
So interestingly, like as I was looking through things, one thing that's the ES is in a little bit of a higher range yesterday, which was really interesting. I mean, towards the middle of the day, it looked like we were well on our way to a big old sell-off. And per usual, we found a bid and, they squeezed it up, and we actually ended up closing one tick higher on the ES yesterday than 2 days prior. We actually closed 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Our closing price was 53.87, and then we did, or sorry, 54.41, and then the next day it was 54.41 and a quarter. So that's a pretty crazy close, but we do have a slightly higher range day today, but we're opening like actually in what we would normally consider to be a breakdown area. So so if we don't kind of get a little bit more bid here into the open, we're actually opening in kind of an interesting place on the market. The only thing we're missing is kind of some news to get things going. So we're going to be carrying off of yesterday's news. And then I think at 10 a.m. we have a news event that's kind of worth watching. So we'll see what happens.
Consumer sentiment.
Yeah, when the consumer sentiment hits, we can kind of check that out, and maybe we'll get something. We might be even a little choppy leading into that.
Super SMCI is down quite a bit this morning, almost 3%.
RAF sentiment is positive, so I think we'll be good. Hey, Tough, good morning out there in YouTube. Hello, everyone. Trade FTW, thanks for asking. Amazon. And any thoughts on NVIDIA?
NVIDIA is kind of it's kind of hitting a sort of a top here. We kind of traded range bound yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, it didn't really. It did a little bit yesterday. I mean, it sort of peaked out at 131.50-ish.
It's definitely in a little bit of a higher range today. And it's opening dead mid-range. So for me, if I was going to play it, ding, 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 probably
ding, ding, ding.
Would want it to sell a little bit, maybe try and pick it up around like 128.50 to 128.75 if it sells. I don't really like it so much for a long here. Maybe short it later up near 131 if it gets on a rally here to open. All right, ding, 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 people, it's a party.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just seeing, let's set the dust settle a bit here. ARM could be interesting. It's just if it gets up to this R4 level at 162.80-ish.
Watching ES here, see what happens. It opened right at the edge of that breakdown range like I was talking about. So I'm kind of seeing and watching to see what we do here at the open. We had some buying come in, but that buying was fairly well absorbed.
see here. Just shorted ARM at that R4 level. Just over 162.20.
Interesting.
Just I'm going to getting out of a lot of it here at 161.50. Spread on ARM is terrible. Getting out of the rest of it might be a long here. NVIDIA's gone red on the day. AMD has gone red on the day. I still think, I just don't like the spread on ARM. A lot of red on the screen.
NVIDIA's selling down, getting down near S3.
Yeah.
Oh, NVIDIA's order book just got very bearish. Huge order came in at 129. Oh, it ate it. Gone. More orders lower. NVIDIA's selling. Careful on this one. It just got aggressive.
Yeah. Ooh, ARM just really tanked. Damn, I wish I'd have held on to that. Oh well. I said I didn't like the book on it. Yeah, look at that. 828.50. Yeah, selling hard here.
That was aggressive. Lower range.
Yeah, Tesla's everything's kind of, a lot of these high flyers are taking a beating here. Tesla dropping. The one that's going the opposite direction is Apple.
Higher range, right off S3. That one worked. Oh well. I'm still just kind of hanging. I'm really not, haven't been in love with anything just yet.
Yeah, just one trade for me right now, ARM.
AMD came right off of monthly S3 and regular S3. That was a really nice dip. My ES is trying to rally off of S4. It's trying. What'd you get, Paris? Nice. You shorted NVIDIA.
NVIDIA probably.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Bill, the pivots are the same on all of the intradaily time frames. So I really only use two different versions. I use the monthly calculations, which are on the daily chart, and then I use the intradaily calculations. But I like the 15-minute chart because it makes it really easy for me to see the 2-day pivot relationship. But I use a 1-minute chart for my entries and exits.
Just shorting some NVIDIA at 128.90. See if we can get into these, get another drop here.
watching AMD here to see if it holds.
Hmm.
The market's still trying to buy too. I don't like AMD's order book. Got these big bids here.
I'm getting out of Nvidia. I think it's going to go up.
Go for it.
There we go.
I got a little long going on AMD. Let's see what happens. If it pops down, I'll get out of this thing. Oh, we're actually not. Oh, actually. Oh, well. We're with it now.
You're long AMD as well. Nice. Looks positive.
It double bottomed off of this monthly level, but I didn't realize we're actually in a slightly lower range. I thought it was a higher range when I first glanced at it, but I'm not going to be too stubborn with this. If it flushes out, I'll get out of it. But I really like the way in this instance it just really held our pivot levels really, really well, and the market looked like it wanted to rally at the same time.
Wow, Tesla's going to go red here. By the looks of it, or it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce here, but might even go red on the day.
So I'm also along the ES, which I long via futures. Or the SPY via futures. So I'm long after it opened and held S4. It opened above S4 and held S4. So this potentially is a long here. So we will see. Oh yeah, here we go. I need a good move. I need to get this thing to R3, but that's what I'm going for. Hey, Jason, have a good one, buddy. Hi, nice, Jared. See if it can sustain. We got this 160 order we got to deal with, but good buying. CVD overall is green on AMD. One thing I liked was as the red dots came in towards the large orders, they kind of absorbed without getting into them. So it just seemed like we had a lot of buying that was moving the price up, but most of the sells didn't seem like they were really driving the price down. So it seemed like we were in the right spot to give it a shot. I'm at break even now. If it comes back down, I'll stop out of it. Still holding my, I got an ES trade going too.
Yeah, Q's went green. SPY is looking like it's trying to head there.
Hey, Panas, I just saw your question. Give me a couple seconds here and I'll talk a little bit about the cams if you'd like.
Here goes Tesla into the red.
So my target's right up here at right under 161 is my 4-to-1. So I'm going for this. Should be hopefully get right up around here. Looks doable.
Yeah, AMD is still looking strong there.
Nice, Rob.
Having difficulty moving higher.
Yeah, we seem to have a seller at 159.50 that is not pronouncing themselves just yet, but I think there's an iceberg seller on AMD at 159.50. You can just kind of see anytime we come up to this level right here, we just stop, and then we immediately move away from it. And then as we try and push back towards it, we're moving laterally instead of moving up. So we have to have a seller that's sitting right here. Kind of like how this one looks. They're just not on the book. They're just putting their orders in off the book. So we got to buy through this seller. I don't see a VPE signal that suggests we're going to sell off right now. I still think we're good here. But the reason why we're consolidating and having trouble pushing up is there's an order coming off the book that we're dealing with. So this is one of those things, just don't, you don't have to get freaked out necessarily. Just kind of know this is why the price isn't moving, because we're doing that. The thing I don't like is when we buy, the price is moving sideways instead of moving up. Like I want to see it like this. I want to see the buys moving up while the sells move laterally. That makes me know we're buying well. When I see the sells dropping the price and absorption every time we buy, I really don't like that as much. But so far, I haven't seen like some big. So for VPA, I would look for like a really big spike on the sell side of volume. Like if we started selling now and we started selling with a lot of volume, that would be inappropriate. Right now, we should be resting. So our volume should just be pulling back right now, which if you look at the 1 minute chart, so far that's still good, right? If you look at the 1 minute chart, notice how as we're consolidating, right? See how our volume is dropping. That's normal. That's what we want. That's actually good, because that shows that we're not being overwhelmed by sellers right now at this level. We're just buying into a seller, which is why we can't go through. But we're not getting, if our sell volume or our downside volume was increasing, right, then we would look at that as a VPA anomaly, right? So this is, for those of you who are into volume and price analysis, this is advancing volume, right? Big volume up, little volume down, big volume up. So right now we saw the little volume down. So I'm not really freaked out about this, but just wanted you to know why we were stalling. But it still looks good overall. Like we should continue in our direction. At least as of now, the VPA reads as an advance. I'll let you know if I see something otherwise. Hey, appreciate it, Andrea. I'm glad you liked the explanation there on the AMD, on the VPA. Anyone else like that, feel free to throw your old boy here one of those thumbs up things. They're free. I noticed there's about 450 of you in here, but I only have 200 likes. And that is not a lot of likes. If we can get up to around 300 of them, I'll explain my cam pivot system.
And if you want to join BBT, there's videos on it too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to a non-BBT person, but she's amazing, so I'm going to do it anyway. VPA Anna Cooling's complete guide to volume and price analysis. I should have an affiliate link, but I don't. Because no one probably refers her book more than I. See, look at that. Look at the pop in volume afterwards. See what I mean? Boom. And look how we have a buyer that came in right underneath at 160 when we went through. So now we have immediate support from a buyer after we go through the level. So that's very, very solid right there. I also have a VPA section in my book, a complete day trading system, but technically Anna's is pretty baller. It's an entire book on it. So what are you going to do?
I got long Tesla. Just it looked like it was holding that 182 level. And now we're through 183. Beauty.
Boom. Target hit.
Boom. Yeah.
Bam.
Selling.
Target hit. How do you like that?
Just selling some Tesla here. This is the 9 EMA right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Got the full S3 to R3, hit my target very nicely. I'm also still long on the ES. I went ahead and set my, I just went ahead and set it to a trailing stop. So I'm now, following my trade up the 50 here. So you can see I went long when we held S4, and we're trailing up the 50 right now. So, actually, hold on. I'm actually going to move this too. I'm going to move this one to break even is what I meant to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one at break even. So I'm not risking anything now on this trade. So if the ES sells off, I'll just go ahead and get out of this one because I hit profit target here. So I certainly don't want to give me. Oh, VPA signal. Hello. All right, look at this VPA signal for those else who want to talk about the VPA. Look at this really high volume inverted hammer right off of R3. So remember I said the volume should rest. Look, this is not rest, right? As soon as we popped up into R3, we did an inverted hammer, and it was on incredibly high volume, right? So this is a reversal signal. So I'm out at 4-1, right, ahead of R3 because that's my target. And because today's a lower range day, I'm expecting a short actually to set up off of R3, right? So if you were talking about anti-cooling, this would be a selling climax, right? So we've been distributing, and we basically run up and we do a high volume sell here and then run away. Regal, I held my trade for the. I am not a momentum trader by any means. I'm a range trader, so I'm trading from a range bottom to a range top. If that takes 15 seconds, I would love that. But I don't think I've ever had a 15 to 45-second trade in maybe the past 10 years. Now we got guys like Paris, Avi, obviously our fearless leader Andrew. These guys are playing with larger size, and they certainly can get to profit a little bit quicker because of that. This right here is a trade. I risked $120 on this trade, and I made 4 times my risk on this target. And it took me about 10 or 11 minutes for that trade to hit. Right. So, but that was very intentful. And I'm still holding a trade right now on the ES that I have not, and I don't take partials. Paris and Andrew, these guys, because of their large size volume, they can take partials. I trade with smaller size volume, so I don't take partials. I just go for one all or nothings, basically. I like 4-1s. Actually did a webinar on Tuesday, and I think I made a pretty strong case for why 4-1 is the perfect target. But anyway, yeah.
Nice. Are you still long AMD, or are you?
No, I'm out. All out. Done with it.
Yeah.
So it's trying to push up here and get through this seller. It hit at 161. It'll be now. So the interesting thing is our volume did drop substantially after that order. So if the order book's still strong, we could still push. The market's starting to sell a little bit as well. I'm kind of waiting and watching for a potential short setup on AMD now if things go the other way. I do love that we're in a buying range on the month though. It's a good target.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I'm pretty much out of my Tesla position. Tesla had a really nice signal for a move higher there. I love how Tesla kind of does a little false breakdown like it did here, and then comes up and makes a higher low. That was my signal to get long there. There we go. Now we're pushing a little bit more through 183.30. Might get back to We're back at the View app. Just going to sell some more.
There's a quick question on which cam set to use. So I have two cam sets. They're both different time frame calculations. So the cams that are the lighter ones are the what we call the regular RTH cams, or the regular trading hours. So there's no pre-market data. The ones that are darker have the pre-market data, and those are the ETH, or extended trading hours, right? Data that goes in there. When I use them is if the pre-market price goes outside the previous day's highs and lows, then I like to add in the pre-market cams. Otherwise, I like using the regular ones. If you're going to pick one or the other, extended trading hours. Yeah, there you go.
Wow, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's ripping. It's up at R3 now. Just watching Tesla. Just got a little bit left. See if I'm just thinking it might. If it goes back red, I'm going to get out of the rest of it.
I almost went short on AMD.
I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of it. It's probably going to bounce again here. But nice, got a nice move on Tesla. So this, if for people that like the crazy stocks, KAVL is second halt.
What was it? Omar was asking trade accuracy since you take 4-1. Omar, I'm looking at my dashboard for my trade tracking software. I'll just slide this over into the view. I don't think it shows anything. So that's obviously I've only taken one trade and I won that trade. So my daily win percentage right now is at 90, is almost 100%. I really don't know why it's not 100%. It should be, but anyway, it might be comms. I don't know how they calculate that. But my trade win percentage overall right now is north of 3/4.
All right, no positions for me right now. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is breaking out here.
This month.
KVL is open. It looks a little dicey right now.
Okay. Thank you, Mike OB. Mike OB is throwing out an interesting factoid. We have news coming in 5 minutes, so just keep an idea on that. If you're already in a position and you've got good profit, you may want to consider wrapping that position, or at least making sure your stops are on. And then all those things. Gosh, I almost shorted AMD up here.
You know what? I did it for you.
Did you do it for me?
Yeah.
It looks so good.
And that's, yeah. Just actually going to cover some here, just at the 9 EMA.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, really look at nice. KAVL. It's going again here. Just be careful now with this, guys. 2 halts is good. 3 halts is dicey. 4 halts, and you're probably looking at a sell-off. Here we go with AMD. It'd be nice if it came down to the View app.
NQ pulled all the way back to R3. It's a good spot for the market to sell a little bit. Hey, Brendan, have a good one. Have a great week.
Oh, yeah. See ya, Brendan. Have a good one. One of our longtime members.
Jared. The thing I'm checking
Yeah,
on
I'm
this ES
surprised.
one,
I'm surprised you didn't take that short. That was your.
I
That's your signature. That's your signature move there.
oh for sure, man. I mean, it's definitely all that. It's
Yeah,
yeah. Look
right
at that.
in.
I mean, it's okay. I'm happy with other people taking it. I just got that sweet move. It's Friday. I'm like hit my profit target already. I got a trade going on ES over here. I was just kind of like, I'm good. Yeah, but I was just my finger. I actually had my finger sitting on the trigger, and I was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna let it go.
I know.
I
I
did
have
it,
done that too.
but look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about, though.
Hesitate.
This AMD is just perfect VPA today. We consolidated during the pullback. That's exactly what you want. Volume rested. We pushed with volume. That's what we want. And then we had this nice VPA signal, inverted hammer right at the level. And then look, as the volume pushed back up into the level, look, the volume dropped. Struggling volume, right? So it's inverted, right? So now when the volume's going up, it's dropping instead of going down or going. So that's is a really good signal. And then once
Yeah,
again, some volume there and we sold. I mean, a really solid example of VPA today.
yeah.
Anna
That's
Cooling
what
would
I
be proud
really.
on this
That's
one.
I. Yeah, that's where I took it short on that second try. Because as soon as it threw that second candle and tried to get above that level and then back down again, those are those setups that you talk about all the time.
Yeah, just really clean. It's really nice. I
Yeah,
like that.
very nice. Yeah, double top. Just a failure to go higher there. Failure of buyers to um, enough in buying volume to push it higher, and
For
then the
sure.
sellers step in.
Well, good sir, it is about 10 a.m. And we got this news event
Really?
that's going to come out here in just a second. So, unfortunately,
That's
though, I do have a meeting, so I'm going to hang out for just a second while this news event hits, because I want to show it, and then
good.
I'll pop off. I want to show everybody. Look at the order book on the ES as it's starting to clear out in anticipation of the news event. This is one of the reasons why everything gets really volatile, because the market makers pull their orders off. So when the volume hits, it hits on a really lean order book. So just keep that in mind. Things can get really sketchy really, really fast. Wow, like that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Everything just
it's
started dropping.
$10. I don't know what the number was there. Matt, what
That was a
was the
lot of
number?
selling volume.
Michigan consumer expectations
We're
and
in a buying range.
sentiment
So
lower, way lower than expected. Wow. Expectations ranged from 70 to 72 when we got 60, 62 to 67. So, yeah, really a real drop in consumer sentiment. Wow. Yeah, Tesla just took a dive.
all right. Well, I'm going to take off and just
Right.
let this thing go. And I got my money for the day, so I'm not going to goof around. But I hope everyone has a
For
great
sure.
one. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah. Cheers, Thor. Thanks
Yes.
for jumping on trading this morning. That was great. Good
Great hanging out with
trades.
all the YouTube peeps this week, too. If you
Mhm.
don't mind and you haven't already, toss me a little like. I'd appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Wow, Apple took a hit on that consumer sentiment number. So seems like Nvidia doesn't really. Um, that's pretty funny. Tesla could be heading to 180, and 180 would be a good buy because there is S3 is right there, that pivot level. But we might have to do, we might not get down there. So a little bit of a drop on the SPY. I'm sure the consumer discretionaries took a little bit of a beating there. Yeah, AMD trying to get back up again. Wow. It pretty close to bounced off of PDC, previous day close. Here comes Tesla. I'm watching Tesla for, see if we get down below 180. Jared says he's looking for 162.50. That's pretty close to yesterday's high. Tesla's still coming down here. Yeah, ARM I traded this morning. Man, it's strong again today. What a daily chart on this thing. Let's see if we can get into this this level here. There's a lot of orders right here on Tesla, right at 180. I think we're going to eat into those. There we go, big volume through there. Try taking a little bit of a long there at 180. There we go, just selling some. It's still in a downtrend, so I'm quick on the trigger here to get out of this, just for a quick scalp. Might have more downside, so I'm flat on it right now. Just got that nice little 30-cent bounce. Might be coming down to 179, but it's getting into an area where there should be some support. Yeah, I can't believe ARM. Wow. Up 5.5%. AMD again sort of got rejected there at close to that 161 level. What are the people trading here? Mara. What's Mara doing? Still seem to be having issues with trading terminal scanner this morning, eh? Yeah, the scanner is actually not. It's a third party. So so when you click on the scanner, that's why you go to a different web page. So third party might be having some problems. Oh, I see it's up now. Okay. Now, if you shut it down and then restart it, it seemed to work there. Wow, look at Tesla's going to maybe test 179. We've got a big bid building there. So I was saying, they just quick scalp in and out on Tesla on that bounce off the 180 level. They're still hitting the bid on this. Yeah, what's Dell? Dell is, Dell's breaking out. Dell's gone green on the day. Dell showing up on the scanner. Wow, NVIDIA is ripping. NVIDIA is breaking out. I was looking at the market caps on Apple and Microsoft. They're like neck and neck. They're like really close. I think Apple might have the edge right now, but just by a couple hundred million. Now, I don't know about today. What's Microsoft doing today? It's down 0.12. Apple down a little bit more today. So it seems like nobody's too impressed with Elon's pay package, I guess. But BlackRock, I guess BlackRock and Vanguard, the two big holders of Tesla, they pretty much swung the vote to to make sure he got his pay package and he's staying on. Yeah, maybe Elon's doing the selling. Nice short on Tesla, Pierre. Do I use a streaming deck? I'm not really sure what that means. I just use DOS and I, using Bookmap now. Wow, 178 now, looking like the next level for Tesla. There's an R4 rejection on NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, no, I don't use that. Wow, big rejection on. Yeah, no, I just use buttons on DOS. Try to keep it simple. Whew. So every Friday I do a Netflix options trade. I've been going in and selling upside calls that expire today. So lots of 0 DTE call option opportunities today because you've got the weeklies that all expire at the end of the day here. So NVIDIA's been pretty good. I've done this like almost 5 weeks in a row, where I just wait for it to top out and then pick a level that's higher and then sell some calls and let them expire worthless. So it's not that risky a trade. I mean, you just you can set a stop and get stopped out if it starts to move against you. Usually selling calls or selling puts can be pretty risky, but because these are 0 DTEs, I'm just controlling my risk by using a stop. I'm not taking any overnight holding risk. Okay, Tesla's bouncing back a bit here. What's the daily? The daily on Tesla. Yeah, you've got a bit of a gap there, don't you? Yeah, there's a gap there at 177.33. So it didn't quite get there. All right, Q's bounced off the VWAP. ARM finally pulled back a bit. Apparently, ARM's PE ratio is 1,390. Not that fundamentals matter very much in these markets, but if you think AMD's market PE ratio is high at 232, ARM is like just out of this world. NVIDIA's is 76. Even that's the average. It's the average now on the SPY, I think, is 21. Whole lot of growth built into these prices. I know, eh? Wow, NVIDIA right back at high of day here. It's looking like it's going for a breakout. AMD is just bouncing off the VWAP. All right. Well, I am not going to do any more trades here today, I don't think, unless I see something I like. And kind of Fridays are usually get kind of quiet after about 45 minutes. So not really seeing anything else that I'm too crazy about. Whoops. Okay. My DOS just crashed at the same time. So yeah, I'm not sure. Did he just post that? Because last post I saw was they were still struggling with getting to the top because of the weather. They'd already had a couple of tries, and oh, he did it. Okay, there you go. 7th, you made it to the top. He looks warm. Not. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you for the support.
So he made it to the summit. There you go. He looks a little worse for wear there in that one picture, but all right. Well, we'll get him to come back and start giving away some Teslas, I guess, after that. Maybe you can get some cheap ones. Get some cheaper ones now that if Elon wants to grow this company, he's going to have to cut his prices on Tesla cars to compete. Oops. Let's see if I can get back online here with my DOS. All right, I'm back. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. I am going to take us off of YouTube now. Please like, subscribe. A couple of good trades today. Yeah. So have a good weekend, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you all on Monday morning. We'll be back. I'm not sure if Andrew will be back, but we will be here, ready to rock and roll for another week. And of course, it is a shortened trading week. We've got Wednesday, I think, is the market holiday. So short trading week, but still should be some opportunities for trading. So take care, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.